Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Mac.
And today we're doing a preview of the Shackleton Series, which is kind of an escape room style of game. From Escape Mail, we were sent a preview copy of the game, and we were sent the first mission in, I think at the end of this, it'll be 6 different episodes that they'll kind of have in this box. But I believe it'll be up on Kickstarter around the time we put out this video. We're filming this a little bit in advance. But yeah, we just finished the 1 episode, and yeah, I would say right off the bat, it reminds me very much of a lot of other escape room style games like the Exit series and games like that.
Unlock.
Yeah, I feel like there's
lots of them out there.
There's a lot of them out there now, and this one I feels that same sort of way, I would say. Mm-hmm. And we were actually sent some of their other things that they've made from Escape Mail. We'll link that below as well, and we'd looked at a couple of those ones as well. And I would say just right off the bat that I thought this one was a bigger, at least this 1 episode was a bigger story than kind of those initial ones we looked at, and kind of a bigger feeling.
Made more sense, was maybe a little more story driven because it's based on a true story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's kind of the different thing they're going with here is they're taking kind of a mystery of a real life event story and kind of putting that into a game, so you've got it not just kind of this mystery thing like the Exit games where it's kind of like, oh, someone locked you in a cabin or something, and I mean,
find your way out.
I guess I haven't played all of them. I don't know if we've figured out who did that to us, but in this one it's more based off of real events. I'm sure there's some parts that have to be adjusted for the game slightly and stuff, but I think this one had, what did it have, like 6 different major puzzles in it.
Yeah.
I think. And I think they were all kind of various levels of difficulty.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was...
Trying to be non-spoilery.
I think there was a couple that were a little bit easier, but then there was others that I was like, I get it.
I feel like after I figured it out, you still...
Yeah. There's one I was like, nope, I don't... I wasn't going to get that. Not on my own.
Right. And there's 2 kind of different ways to play this. You can play it as like an extreme mode or a standard mode. We initially attempted to play this on the extreme mode.
We were arrogant and thought, how hard can these be? We've played so many of, not Escape Mail, but of these genres, so how hard could it be? And it was like... when did we flip that over?
Probably about 40 minutes in. So it took us just slightly over 2 hours. I think 2 hours and 2 minutes to complete this one. So if you wait for about 30-40 minutes to go from extreme to standard, that's about how long it took us. So it might be a little shorter.
I think part of that though was like we didn't have the right things in front of the right people. Like there was things that I kind of like we each kind of felt like, but then I didn't follow through, like, on one of those pieces. Like, I could have gotten that. I just was so distracted by everything else in front of me that I just didn't follow up on that piece. So, we probably could have gotten started a little bit better, but I think we would have had to have flipped that anyway for one of those puzzles.
For possibly, yeah. So, I would say... from my feeling, the difference between the extreme mode and the standard mode is kind of unlike games like the Exit series where you maybe have a couple puzzles and then solving those kind of opens up additional puzzles.
No.
Where sometimes you get information early that isn't relevant right away. In this one, you just get
all of it.
All the information right away. So you don't necessarily know exactly right away what connects with what. And if you flip this thing over that kind of gives you some information to the standard mode, then you at least know what connects to what. Then you just have to solve the puzzles from there. And like you said, I think there were a couple of them at least that we had kind of put together, but we just weren't quite sure how to do it.
Yeah.
And then, once we did that, we were able to get them. With some being still a little bit more difficult after that.
Yeah, it's funny because the ones that I thought were like bigger puzzles ended up being the small puzzles, and the ones that were big ones, like I wasn't gonna get. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then I think I would say I enjoyed these. I would be definitely interested in seeing kind of how the story continues after that point, just because, this felt like a bigger experience than maybe some of their smaller escape mails that they have, which is also episodic. I think you can definitely go look at their website and see if you wanted to get some of those. But, I think this one felt a little bit different in that way.
Yeah, I thought it was good, and they do, I think, a good job of diversifying the puzzles that they have. So you're not, unlocking the same things all the time. Typically, there are things and ways to do things, but I feel like they give you enough diversity to, like, if you're playing in a group, like, okay, this person might, do well with this puzzle, like, this one is accessible to anyone, like, kind of that play on things. And so I felt like that was really good. And then they just really did a great job, I think, with the artwork and like the storytelling aspect of it, because it is based on a true story. So
yeah, I thought that was pretty good, and I'll be interested to see if this one compared to going back to comparing it to their escape mails that they sent us as well a while ago. This one had a couple things of videos, some shorter ones that were integrated into the story. And the ones we did before, I think, had a little bit more to do with kind of videos and using your phone and stuff in some ways, in some interesting ways. I'm curious if they're going to do that with the other ones. I'm not entirely sure if they will or not. But I did really, that was one of the elements that I really enjoyed about theirs, and the smaller envelope escape mails versus this. So I kind of hope that they do, but I don't know if that's going to be part of those other 5 episodes or not.
Yeah, this one I feel like would be hard to do that unless they were gonna go to Antarctica and film cutouts of the story, or based on what the information was that they gave us. I think it would be hard to replicate.
Yeah.
A little bit different than some.
You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Green rooms can do a lot. AI can do a lot.
That's true. That is true. But yeah, I think, without spoiling anything, I think that's kind of the gist of what we got from the game. We definitely enjoyed it. Would look forward to potentially playing the other 5 episodes and seeing kind of how it all unfolds. But I think I could recommend it. We'll have a link to their, I think it's Kickstarter, otherwise game, whatever the link is to their crowdfunding in the description below. So you can check it out there. See what you think about it, see if you're interested. But otherwise, we hope to see you on our next video, and as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.